Hi everyone, I'm Telly. I want to welcome you to another episode of Tasting Tuesday. So today is Tuesday, February 1st, and in the Greek Orthodox Church and other Christian religions around the world, we celebrate the feast day of Aios Tryphonas, or Saint Tryphon, or Saint Tryphonas. Now, Aios Tryphonas is the patron saint of grape growers, winemakers, wine growers, gardeners, and etc. If you look at the icon here of Saint Tryphonas, he's often depicted holding the grapevine with the grapes on there. Other times you'll see him holding like a small harvesting knife or like a handheld sickle. So just to verify and just to accentuate how he is the patron saint of grape growers, winemakers, etc. So I thought it'd be appropriate to taste some Greek wine. And I figured we would taste one of my favorite varieties, Xinomavro, from a producer named Alpha Estate. And we're going to travel to northern Greece. And in northern Greece, most often when people think of Xinomavro, those who know Greek wine, they think of the region of Naousa. But just a little further northeast of Naousa, there's the lake region. And it's a plateau that sits up about 2,000 feet in elevation, and it's called Amyndeon. And it's more of an up-and-coming wine region in an international marketplace. I mean, they've been growing wine there for centuries, but in this case, it's becoming a fine wine region, and a large part has to do with the owners, Angelo Iatridis and Mikris Mavroudis, who started this winery in 1997. They have about 67 hectares dedicated to different grape varieties. A lot is dedicated to the Xinomavro grape variety, which means acid black, by the way. The winery sits right in front of the lake. I believe the lake is Lake Patron. And the winery is, the vineyard is behind it. So you have the lake, you have the winery, and then the vineyards surrounding the winery. And they were very specific in how they oriented everything, in that once the grapes are harvested, all the grapes are harvested by hand, there's a quick access right away to the winery. And they're very much on the cutting edge of both viticultural technology and know-how, and also when it comes to winemaking technique and technicalities. And not that they intervene, actually it's quite the opposite. They are just very methodical in their approach to winemaking, so that they have minimal intervention with the grapes fermentation process. So let's taste this wine. Actually, I'm going to decant it first so you can check out the color, and then we'll taste it. I'll talk a little bit about the vinification process to give you a little more about it. Xinomavro is a thin-skinned grape, often compared to like Nebbiolo or Pinot Noir. It's very difficult to grow, much like Pinot Noir and Nebbiolo. But again, when you get it right, it can be absolutely beautiful. I believe these vines are probably about 20 years old. So they're in their prime, or they're mature enough to produce a fantastic wine. Beautiful color. And I am decanting this both for color. I wanted you to see it against the white plate, but also it does need some aeration. This wine is a 2016, and though we have 5 years on it, so it's quite approachable right now, but it is cellar worthy as well. I'd say it'll last at least another 5 years, if not more. And when you first pop the bottle, you get more of like mineral, like this like sandy mineral element, and you get just this bright fruit. But then as it opens up, the last time I tasted, I had decanted a little bit and tasted, you're starting to get a lot more, and the complexity really shows through on the palate. So you get a lot of bright fruit. I'm getting, before I was getting mostly strawberry, but now I'm getting a little bit of raspberry. You're getting a little bit of earth, cinnamon. You're getting some of those warm spices. On the palate, it's bright but balanced, and you have these beautiful velvety tannins. So it's not overly tannic and gripping, because we have a little bit about 5 years of age. Still mouth waters, I think it would be a fantastic food wine. On the finish, I kind of think of like a warm cherry pie that someone baked a little cinnamon into the crust. So absolutely delicious. I'll finish with a little bit of the vinification. Like I said, they're very minimalist, so everything's picked by hand. They harvest in the evening or at night or whenever it's cool, either really early in the morning. But in order to not have the hot sun on the grapes, they once during the vinification process, I believe they destem, but I don't even think they crush. They do a very slow and low in temperature. Like they start out cold with like a cold soak, and then they slowly increase the temperature. And when the vinification process is done, they leave once it becomes wine on the lees, and they continue to stir. And that means all the sediment, all the goodies from the winemaking process that fall to the bottom of the tank, they're stirring that to further incorporate some of those flavors and intricacies and complexities into the wine. And then after that, when they rack it, it's all gravity fed into the cellar, so we do not get too much of the harsh pumping throughout the winemaking process. And then they are aging in French oak with like a medium toast for about 1 year. Then they do a little bit of bottle aging, and then they release it. Where can you find the wine? I found this, I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. I found this, if you're local, you can find this at Bottles. They have a really nice selection of Greek wine at Bottles. The importer is Ted Diamanti, so Diamond Importers. You can check them out online, and if you can try to find it at your local wine shop. I'll finish with some food pairings. It's a great all-purpose wine, great acid, bright, food-friendly. If you want to do meat, some of those slow braises. If you're doing more plant-based, I immediately think of like, stuffed peppers, something with lentils and a red sauce, pasta, any kind of pasta with a light red sauce with some hard cheese shaved on top. But there you have it. It's the feast day of Saint Tryphonas. We're drinking some fantastic wine made from 100% Xinomavro from northern Greece, from Amyndeon, and the producer is Alpha State. And you could probably pick it up anywhere from it's about $25 to $30 a bottle. So until next time, cheers, chin chin, stiniamas, enjoy the wine.